Alright, you know good knuckle draggers, listen the fuck up. This is Vaelastrasz, second boss of Blackwing Lair. What you are looking at right in front of you here is this artist's exquisite rendition of the mighty dragon himself. In other words, I couldn't find anything better on the internet. Get over it. So we're going to break this up, because this fight is very different depending on your role. First of all, tanks. You guys are going to have infinite rage. Okay? We're going to have 2 or 4 of you. Depending on how long we expect the fight to go. Fewer tanks on once he's on farm, and we'll probably use up to 4 when we're first clearing him, just to be safe. Because the longer the fight goes, the more tanks you need. One thing to note is that if you are not the main tank, so you're one of the off tanks, I'm talking mostly to you guys here anyway, wait to start using your abilities. You're going to sit in defensive stance the whole time. Wait to use your abilities until a couple seconds after the fight started. I like to wait 2 globals. That's more than enough. That way this main tank can't get, whoops, parried my shield slam. You suddenly get threat the whole fucking raid, the melee get tail swiped, and everything gets fucked. Okay, there's no reason for that shit to happen. Wait. Your threat doesn't even really matter until the tank fucking explodes anyway, so wait a sec. Let him get initial threat. You're going to want to be wearing your threat gear, so pretty much all plate, but don't bring that fucking might gear, okay? You want to be agi, you want to be good on your crit. And you want to be big on consumables too. Even when this shit's on farm, whatever you can use to help the raid to put out a little bit more threat per second to make yourself a little tougher, use it. Fucking hump that buff cap, I'm serious, guys. This fight really depends on your performance. Another important note is that he can't be taunted. Okay, if he could, this would be a hell of a lot easier, but he can't. So we gotta be eyeballs on that threat meter and fucking professionals with our job here. So, how this is gonna work, obviously we got our main tank here in the dark green triangle, and you've got our off tanks here in the light green. You're gonna be casting Heroic Strike just constantly, throughout the entire fight. You wanna be generating a lot of threat. The reason you gotta be eagle eye on your threat meter is because he needs to be the top, the main tank, obviously, that's normal. But whoever we assign to be second, you're going to have your first tank, and then second, third, maybe fourth tank. Whoever is second, who is pre-assigned to be the second threat tank, needs to absolutely 100% be the second on that threat meter. No fucking word about it. He needs to be second. What's going to happen is this main tank is going to get burning adrenaline. Every 45 seconds, the guy who's tanking Vael, whoever it is going to get burning adrenaline. That means his max health is going to get ticked down. So what this means is that no matter what you do, eventually he is going to die. There's nothing you can do about it. When the main tank, the current tank, has burning adrenaline, he calls it out in raid. I have burning adrenaline. The guy who's second in line, he better be second on threat, runs to the main tank's position. You guys have a little fucking happy dance for a sec. The main tank pops a lesser invulnerability potion, save your potion cooldown. Don't fucking use it on anything else if you've assigned it as a tank. The current tank, who has burning adrenaline, uses a lesser invuln pot, and then he gets the fuck out. Vael has a throne right here that the current tank, who has burning adrenaline, is going to run behind the throne as far back as he can. He's not going to get any more heals, it doesn't matter. He's a fucking sacrificial lamb, he's just going to die. The point is that he dies far away from everybody else. Whoever was second doesn't have to tank the explosion. None of the ranged have to tank the explosion. He gets over there, he sits down, and he dies like a good little boy. That is just how that shit works on this fight. Okay, so that's everything for tanks. Easy, right? Melee. Like the tanks, you guys have infinite rage and infinite energy. And on the same vein, you guys need to wait before you open up, because you cannot get initial threat. One of this guy's flame breaths on the raid is basically always not only an instant kill for every non-tank, but an instant wipe. It cannot happen. Make sure it doesn't happen. Now this positioning right here is very important. You're going to be right here behind his back leg, and you're going to stay the fuck there. There's no reason that any of you should ever have to move at any point in this fight. The thing that melee fuck up about this is they try to be over here. Melee will think, oh, I'll just fuck around in the middle here, like you can on Onyxia. Vael looks a lot like Onyxia. People tend to treat him like Onyxia. This is not Onyxia. You need to stay the fuck here. Vael does a chain cleave, which means that he will, if you say, stand here. Okay, you might not be getting breathed, but maybe you catch a cleave off this tank. Maybe a healer's a little too far forward. Cleaves the healer. And then it chains to everybody in the ranged pile. Just as often, it'll chain to the melee pile. Don't let that shit happen. Be way the fuck back here, just as long as you're not getting tail whipped. Beautiful little tail, huh? And don't fucking move. The reason that you guys don't want to use your potion cooldown either, maybe once we're on farm, but for progression, you guys need to hold your potion cooldown up as well, because you're going to need to be able to limit an invulnerability pot to wipe your threat. Warriors, this is very important. Because if you get aggro, you need to be fucking smashing that potion key. You cannot have aggro like that. You will wipe the raid instantly. And rogues, obviously you can just vanish. Fucking cheaters. But other than that, you've got infinite resources. As long as your eyeball's on your threat meter and you don't overthreat, you're good. Go crazy. You guys are going to do insane damage on this fight. Especially during execute phase, though. Watch that threat. Alright, going to move on to ranged. You guys have a fairly similar situation. It's very important that you guys are out here. This little blue circle here is where the range stack is going to be. There's no mechanic that demands that you stack necessarily, but there's also no reason you don't stack. It just makes a couple other things easier. We don't need people fucking out here and out here. I'll fuck around up here. No. Just fucking stay in a pile. It's like Baron Geddon, okay? I don't give a fuck if you want to look at your character casting lightning bolts at the fucking boss. Nobody gives a shit. You fucking stay in a pile. All the chain heals will be more efficient. Everybody will be in range of each other. And it's important because every 15 seconds, one of you guys is going to get burning adrenaline. This will only happen to the ranged and the current tank, as I explained earlier. So every 15 seconds, one of you guys will randomly get burning adrenaline. Could be a healer, could be a hunter, any one of you guys. When this happens, you're going to get a buff that's really cool. It's great. You're going to get instant casts on everything. Full mana instant cast? Come on, man. That's the dream, right? Well, just like the tanks, your max health is going to be getting ticked down. So just like Baron Geddon, you get burning adrenaline, you get the fuck out of the raid. Meandros. You get the fuck out. Instantly. Start running. Now, if you're feeling like an absolute Chad demon, you can fucking throw shadow bolts over your shoulder as you're running. Okay, if you're a healer, throw bomb heals out. Go nuts. There's no reason not to, but the most important thing is get the fuck out. Do not blow up the raid. Okay, finally, healers. A lot is riding on you guys this fight. Since you have infinite mana, you should expect that there's a fuckload of damage going out, which there is. So you should never be using anything but max rank heals. It's basically impossible for you to run out of mana. So just fucking spam your max rank heals. There's going to be tons of AoE fire damage going out this entire fight to everybody. You have got to be healing like crazy, especially on the tank. Because just like if somebody overthreats the tank, if the main tank suddenly dies for whatever reason, that's going to be an issue. It's the same. The raid's going to get breathed, or Vael will turn to one of the off tanks, which is normally what happens if they're doing their jobs, and the whole raid's going to get tail whipped. And then the off tanks are probably going to die because none of the healers are able to heal. Do not let the main tank die. Do your very best to keep the raid alive. Go fucking crazy. Another note, don't cancel any of your heals. It's normal to cancel heals because they're topped off and you don't want to waste your mana. Mana's infinite, okay? Break the habit for the sake of this fight. There's no reason to cancel cast. There's no reason to use anything but max rank heals at all times. Just with the ranged, you get burning adrenaline. So you're going to need to get the fuck out. Throw the good heals over your shoulder and go die like a man off in the corner. Alright, that's Vaelastrasz.